Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This video is basically going to be a podcast, which I'm starting, so this is the first episode for all you guys on YouTube. The idea of it is to get the understanding behind Twitch. Business, not just Twitch though, that's how it's starting, but it's going to move on to other internet businesses, towards esports, all this stuff which exists online that people understand and work in but don't really think about how it works. You buy some merch from your favourite streamer, your favourite YouTuber, you don't think of cost overheads and how that can help you as an aspiring internet personality. I did, in recording this first podcast, mess up by recording just after I asked the first question. It introduced the guest we had on for our first episode. Summer is an aspiring stream doctor, otherwise known as stream coach. She tries to help people just gain those first few viewers because she specialises towards the starters and the people that are struggling a bit to get momentum early on. Now, the first question was just, what got you into gaming? So, don't worry, you haven't missed much from the beginning of this video. If you do like the content, please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know who you want on the podcast. And please enjoy the video.
Spyro the Dragon. Favorite game in the world, even to this day. I love Spyro completely, and it just kind of hooked me on this, like, there's this just like actual imaginary world I can control things and do things, and never put gaming down since. It was just like, as soon as I was home from school, play some video games. As soon as it was the weekend, play some video games. And it was just, as the consoles got bigger, I also followed the consoles and went with it.
Yeah, I can say pretty much the same for me, except for instead of Spyro, you can sort of replace Mario and Zelda into that sort of category.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So what sort of education did you have? Or you don't have to say what BTECs or anything you might have got. But
that's fine. Obviously, went all the way through secondary school. Did fine with that. Went over to college and I studied for a small while interactive media with video games design, and then ended up moving over to a different course because I realized I loved the programming side more than anything, and went and did software design that also had it was a bit of a jumbled course. It was IT, but also here we're going to do hardware and security and programming and everything. So it was a bit of jumble, but that was where I finished basically.
So it gives you a sort of good understanding of roughly this sort of space as well. So what sort of started your interest in Twitch? Like, what maybe started you watching it in the first place?
I think I first started watching it back, Christ, that must have been about 2012 was probably when I first started getting into it. Back when Minecraft had its original like surgence and popularity. Because I got into Minecraft due to my actual college lecturer. He used to make YouTube videos on it, and I loved it so much that I was like, oh, I keep hearing about this Twitch thing. I wonder if people play Minecraft on it. So I went over and found like different people that played Minecraft, and it just kind of caught me, and I was like, oh, I wonder if I can do this, and I kind of just went from there.
Lovely. So would you say Minecraft was a big influence towards it, or was that just like the tip of the iceberg?
I think so. At first, definitely. Like when I first started my channel, I was all about Minecraft. I've developed a bit since, but it was definitely that tipping point of I seen like there was a really nice community behind the game itself, and there was no like, you never seen any bullies or anything in a Minecraft community and stuff. And I was just kind of, do you know what I mean? It was like, oh, this is a nice little hobby to have like after college occasionally, or on a day I'm not working and stuff. It was a nice thing to sit down, and it was between that and also really wanting to make some friends, because I was the only girl in my college course, and all of the guys were still like very football obsessed and stuff like that, and I wanted like some real nerdy friends to just like nerd out with. And I found like Twitch and the community was definitely a thing that let me find my friends.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with you. In especially in college formative years, there's still a lot of laddish, I think is probably the correct way to say. Laddish people. Like in my college course, even me, it's like there's not many people as core into gaming as there are necessarily people that want to watch a football or go out and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll jump into sort of more the meat of things now. What made you then want to become a streamer from that, a stream coach, that sort of aspect?
I think becoming a streamer first was something I really got into back about 4 years ago. I was in between jobs and thought, well, I'll just give Twitch a full-time go, because I had nothing else to do, sort of thing. And I had a few friends that watched me already, gave it a go, ended up with like a semi-decent following, had, you know, people that would come and visit the chat and stuff like that, and an all right number of people. Everything kind of went a bit down the drain in my life, so Twitch had to be put like completely on the back burner and stopped for a few years. And it's sort of been someone that I personally have a few health issues, so I had to stop working sort of 2018 time due to health reasons. And I am very much someone that can't sit around and do nothing. My head still needs to do something. I need something to focus on, and I need to be able to socialize as well. And I was just like, I really miss streaming, you know, it's like something that's really fun. And I had so many friends, and I'm sat here playing video games anyway, so I could easily go back and do that. And kind of had a look more into things back end of November when Black Friday sale. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to take the leap, put all of the money I had saved into my lovely PC rig that I have now. To get the specs so I could stream properly and have like an actual setup where I had the room to. Came back in January properly and just kind of worked from there, learned all about the affiliate program and everything. And then I think it was as I was learning all about stuff again with Twitch, because it's changed so much over the years, I came across some like stream coaches on YouTube, people such as, like, most people have probably heard of Harris Heller, and also a really nice female Twitch coach called Ashney. And they really inspired me, and I was like, this sounds really fun. Like, I'd love to be able to have the like confidence and authority to speak like them and to help people and guide them. And at the same time, I became involved in a Discord community full of other small streamers, and people started asking for help. And I was like, oh, well, I know the answer to this, so I'm going to give them, you know, the advice and help. And people would then give me feedback going, thank you, Summer, that really helped me. Actually, I noticed a difference doing this, or you helped me with this. And I was like, do you know what? That feels really good. Do you know what I mean? Like, giving back to people and kind of getting that feedback and knowing like, oh, I helped someone. And I just sort of carried on and continued. And the more I looked into it, I was like, there's a bit of a gap in that industry of coaching for people specifically focusing on like the smaller streamers, people that, you know, are still trying to get to affiliate, or they've just got past affiliate and on what should they do now and stuff. So I feel like because I'm going through that journey, I could help other people go through that journey at the same time and all like work together to grow. And that's my thing, basically.
Oh, that's good. So do you feel like there's a purely sort of, because what I notice a lot, you know, you look through YouTube recommended and what have you, especially someone else who watches Alpha Gaming and understands the advice given. Do you feel like there's a lack of a female voice within this community? Because generally, what I see, apart from as you stated, the one, it sometimes gets a bit overwhelming.
It does. I definitely get what you mean. I feel like that I always complain, even with anything to do with Twitch, as far as like, for example, I look for like a logo designer and I'm like, oh, everything's so masculine. I don't want masculine. I want like a little bit more on the cutesy side and stuff. And I feel like myself personally, I connect more listening to other women at times, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe we explain things in a different way at times, or a little bit more detailed can be at times. And I just kind of connected with the person I found really well. But then I was like, I literally can't find anyone else. I must have seen I mean, I can't remember the rest of names for other streamers, stream coaches, because you kind of like flick through, and after a while, it's all the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
But like it is very male dominated, I think, in sense. And I would say with Twitch, obviously, a lot of the bigger streamers are more males compared to females.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice to have that other viewpoint because everyone thinks a bit differently, and it just adds to it, doesn't it?
That's exactly it. Everyone learns differently. It's not just a black and white. One thing's going to help one person and one thing's going to help another. So, and especially, I think in this industry where I know everyone's opinion of, well, females have boobs and that means they get loads of views. It is statistically there is a lot of different stuff said in chats to a male/female streamer, so they do need somewhat different advice, and it's something that all the people that just automatically think, oh look, someone's going to get views because of this. Change your thoughts sometimes, and maybe you'll get something better coming for you as well. And yeah. Sorry, that bit I have to say quieter, because if someone overhears me too much, I'll get some sort of parade of saying, you're just a simp.
Simp, yep.
Yeah. So what do you think are personality traits that do actually help viewership on Twitch?
I think it really depends on who you're trying to bring into your own audience. If you're trying to maybe bring in like those really memey crowd, like maybe you get with like XQC and stuff like that, obviously being quite loud and cocky and obnoxious and annoying can definitely help. But I would just say anyone that just likes to talk, I think that's such an important part of Twitch. It's just talking, being able to talk about anything and everything on the fly, just to keep like people entertained and to keep yourself from like going silent and just sitting there playing a video game and not paying attention to anything. It's a really important thing. So I would just say the most important thing is being able to jabber on.
Is that something you might have seen changing yourself since starting your streaming career, at least?
I think for sure. I've literally had feedback from like my other half and my friends and stuff that they've gone, since you've come back to streaming in January, the difference between even how I was in January to now, I'm a bit more kind of open, a bit more sort of not worried about being myself so much and being like a bit out there or a bit giggly or a bit, you know, like jumping at things in games and stuff like that, because you do worry about that when you begin. I think that's a thing you worry about. It's like, oh God, what if people like me? But then you realize, well, if they didn't like you, they wouldn't watch you. So just be you.
Exactly. I think that's something that I personally have worked on. You know, I think it's something everyone in the first few months, and it's why jumping from, you know, like people do say that the big breaks that you get and they, you know, they explode out of nowhere. I think that is the hardest thing to then learn once you are bigger, because you have to rely on chat a lot more. So as a content creator, I would say someone that's trying to produce gaming videos that have to be applicable to YouTube or Facebook and Twitter, it does become harder. But that's more of my opinion, and well, yeah. So we'll look towards something similar after the next question, because I think it does show influencers a lot. But what's your favorite bigger streamers that you watch?
Oh God, I'm gonna get called a simp now. Are you ready for this? One of my favorite people I watch who's like a big timer is actually Pokimane. I watch Poki and like a decent amount. I catch the stream a couple of times a week. She just makes me laugh. Her chat makes me laugh as well, and I think she's just a chill person that I'd love to actually like be friends with in real life. To be honest, she just seems cool. I love watching.
Worry, I'm on the Poki train as well.
Yeah, good. It's right. Some people go, you like Poki, but I think it's just a thing. Like, I do watch people like Tim the Tap Man, especially if he's playing like Overwatch. I love watching him rage at Overwatch. I think he's hilarious. And especially when WoW Classic first came out, watching the shit he got up to in that was amazing. And also, if anyone's heard, oh God, yeah. Anyone's heard of him, Kit Boga?
I haven't, no.
He is a really popular guy in Just Chatting. I actually think I started watching him before he got like more than 1,000 viewers, and right now I'm looking at him live and he's on 10,000 viewers. So,
Well, yeah, that's some
but
growth.
he's a scam baiter, so he gets like those really
Oh,
scammy emails and websites, and
I've heard of him. Yeah.
he phones them up and messes with the
Mm.
scammers, and it's amazing.
Yeah, sorry, I did hear of him.
I just seen Dean's comment. Oh God, sorry. The gifted 500 subs to
Yeah.
Poki. No, I wish, mate. I wish. I'd be in a good books.
Yeah, if I had that type of money, I mean, no, I'm sure I'd be fine gifting some to Pokimane. It's funny you bring up Pokimane. To me, as like a symbol of Twitch, like forgetting everything else, she is. When it's something we discussed actually before we came on about the whole branding of Twitch.
Yeah.
Do you watch healthygamer.gg at all?
I haven't. No, go on. Tell me about.
It's really interesting. All of it is uploaded to YouTube, but he's a psychiatrist that has been working on trying to help gaming community understand mental health a lot more. Really great streamer. He's not like Twitch at all, which is what's so great about him streaming on Twitch, because he doesn't. He's not that person, and he talks to he gets streamers on to discuss their problems and try and help work with them through it, and how they can fix it personally. So he got Pokimane on to discuss the whole idea of, because she's been streaming since she was 16 or 15, and she is now 23. So most of her formative years have been spent on Twitch in front of an audience like me, you, and all of chat here. So it's really interesting. I'm not gonna say too much because obviously, and there's no point in watching it. But it's really interesting. But she is like such a brand. People like sponsors go for her because of she is who she is. She has everything on her socials down to a T. She's just such a powerful woman on the platform, which I think is very important, and hopefully she goes out for many years to stay. Yeah, her content is just great, like the way she does it, and she has a reaction channel as well, which people don't generally know. It's great. Sorry. So a follow up to that one then. What channels do you think are good that are sort of within the smaller numbers? So I'm just gonna say like 500 viewer below.
I've got a couple, and the thing is, I mostly watch female streamers. Don't take that the wrong way. I just usually go for the cutesy streamers, because in case you can't tell, I'm very much a cutesy kind of person. There is a streamer she's from Bulgaria. She's called oh God, me pronouncing this name. Shapira, I think. Shapira. Oh God, I will remember this name properly. Everyone calls her Shah. She is fantastic. I found her through Twitter before Twitch, and she was posting these snippets of her Twitch chat and her reacting, where guys would come into her chat and be really inappropriate basically towards her, and she would come up with the best comebacks so quickly off the top of like her head, and then she posted all the best bits into Twitter, and I just burst out laughing when I first watched her and was like, I need to watch this girl when she's live. And she does like everything from just sitting and just chatting to arts and crafts to she's on a mission at the minute in Animal Crossing to find her dream villager. And she generally sits sort of anywhere between 80 views to around about, I think I've seen it up to 300 views sort of thing. I think it depends on what she's doing. And I love her. If you want someone that's a laugh, that's the person to watch. The other person I watch, who I think she's quite underrated, is someone called Scream Kiwi. She's a complete Final Fantasy nerd. And she's super interactive with chat. Like, she somehow remembers every single person that's been in her chat before. I don't know how she does it. And she remembers everyone. She remembers the last conversation she had with them. She'll remember, like, if they've said they're doing something in the day, she'll be like, oh, so how did that go? How did that go? And I don't know how she remembers that many people, because she, you know, normally sits between 100 and 150 people. And it's just, like, crazy how much she interacts with people. And she does, like, talks as well on her YouTube. She has a lot of body modifications and piercings and stuff, and it's really interesting to see her bring that into Twitch and talk about it, because she gets a lot of questions from the audience about it because of her YouTube, and it's really interesting.
Yeah. Well, no, people like that was it? So what the thought of Twitch is basically a symptom of loneliness, and what you want to find is put your personality out there. So someone with body modification, and they show them in the way. Because at the end of the day, piercings, tattoos, all that are just a reflection of yourself, and they always will be. And that's why we get them. That's why I've got tattoos, and that's why anyone that's got tattoos loves tattoos. So I think that's like a key to winning over someone's heart, especially on Twitch. Oh, yes. Thank you, Elmo. 27 viewers. Thank you. Hope stream was great. Just for anyone new coming in, we're sort of discussing Twitch business and stuff like that. With Bangitssummer here, who's also got a channel, and she also streams games too. But she's also stream nurse for anyone that's new coming in. So what do you feel people need to do for like brand awareness throughout, like not just necessarily on Twitch, but Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff?
I think at first it's really difficult when you're brand new to all of this to come up with a brand, and I think that is something that you're not instantly going to come up with. So don't like kick yourself in the teeth. That's not the right phrase. But don't kick yourself for like not immediately having that answer, and taking time to sort of learn who you are as both a streamer and a brand, to really get it like down to a T sort of thing. It's something I'm still personally working on, and I know a lot of the people I help are still working on, and that's fine. I think having a really good idea of who you are yourself is very important for like who you want to basically bring into your community and your space, because we're not going to get on with everyone. And I think having a strong foundation of knowing who you are and what you want from your brand and how that works is just like, you need that foundation to kind of develop your brand and your streaming, your YouTube, your social medias, everything. You need that. And also don't go too complicated, like keep it simple to begin with. Focus on a few things and a few things only, and develop it as you become more confident and comfortable, I think, with yourself and your brand.
Yeah, I think I when it comes to branding myself, I always think of looking at like Ninja. He got off luckier than anyone, I think, with getting like picking that name, because of like all of his branding. Everything is just so neat within that, and it's not complicated, except he does the pon every now and again. And like Tim the Tatman, who took like the man bear eagle type idea.
Yeah.
Which is great. I think my difficulty, or like what I feel like other people have, I was lucky because of my original username on Xbox in 2012, 2010 or something like that, is Supernova Star. It's really cringy. I hate looking back. But so I was rebranding, trying to start my Twitch, and I'm just like, okay, in my head, what would be me, but not just me now working serious person that you become in your 20s. What actually am I, like, thinking about it? And Nova was it, and I just found a word to throw on the end, but everyone calls me Nova, so it's fine.
Yeah, got you.
So it all sort of goes with that. Yeah, so let's go something a bit more serious, and then branding and branching out on that. Monetization pathways.
Yes.
Like what do you think it is? And you can split off onto other platforms in which you can try and help grow this, obviously. But like, Jiraiya, you're trying to do what Elmo said, I know. So yeah, what sort of monetization pathways do you think a standard person can do for
Um,
the stream. Yeah.
I think obviously once you've hit affiliate, of course, you have the access to a lot of the Twitch tools, such as having channel subscribers, which of course is different income routes, as well as having, of course, your bits, which is another great thing. And as most people know by now, you can, of course, do some form of link in your description for donations, which I will say I do find is used less nowadays compared to bits. Everyone loves donating bits with all the cute little like bits you can put and the effects and everything like that. I think bits is definitely the way to go. But
Can I interject quickly? Because there's actually a reason for why donations have gone less, and it's because Twitch is sneaky. They added gifting subs, and as soon as the gifting subs went in, donations went down on all the biggest streamers because of.
Okay.
Twitch is smart because of if you would have donated, say, £50 for just generally throwing it. Now Twitch, because people will gift a subscription, because the feeling is you're giving something to the community. Yep. So you, as a person, you get psychologically a better sense of value for your money. You're giving something to the streamer, but you're also gifting to the people around you. However, now Twitch takes some of that money. So where the streamer would have made £50, Twitch is now making 20, and the streamer's making 30. I don't actually know the full splits, so yeah, but that's basically what that does. And sorry if you continue.
No, it's fine. No, it's interesting. That's really interesting to know. I can understand why it's done though, because like not just giving to one person, but allowing other people to join in that kind of like exclusive club vibe that subscribers kind of give off. It's I think it's a nice thing to do, but at the same time, like we said, it's a lot of people I think that don't know Twitch don't realize like the high percentage Twitch themselves take from that donation, which I'm not discouraging people from doing it. I think it's great, but it is something to be aware of if you're specifically maybe trying to support a streamer. Maybe just think about like if they've got the option to donate and you want that full amount to go to them or most of it, because how I think take a tiny little percentage. Donation's always still a thing. I was going to say, of course, it's not as applicable, I say, to smaller streamers, as in people that maybe are under like 40 odd viewers or something. But there is still the chance of like sponsorships where you do get the odd company approach you, to give you a deal on probably having some of their merch or something like that in exchange for, advertising their brands on stream, maybe having a banner and stuff like that. I have heard many stories of people, especially small, being ripped off by sponsors. And I think
sort of goes towards knowing your worth, which is always hard for, I think, anyone within the position of being given a deal, whether they're bigger or smaller,
Yeah. I think it's, I know there's a lot of schemes like, the one that I can think of off the top of my head is like the Razer affiliate scheme, which it's not a sponsor, but it makes, I would say, smaller streamers feel like they have a sponsor because they get to put the Razer branding all over their stream. And obviously that looks really cool. You're like, yeah, look, Razer sponsors me. And they don't. You're not getting paid anything for that. You're basically giving them free advertisement in the hopes that they may feature you on their channel or their website for a week.
Yeah.
And you may get like, I think 3% money back if someone specifically uses your link to buy stuff. The main thing they offer is you get a discount on Razer products. You still have to buy it out of your own money.
I think something like that targets really strongly people that they because of this internet. Sorry, chat's going crazy, right? People see, because obviously there's so much YouTube content, and with like the use of apps like Sully Gnome, sometimes people take that necessarily potentially in the wrong direction, where rather than using that as a tool, they see that they are 800,000th place in viewers that hour, and the idea that you can then, like, I watched a thing on it, and loads of companies offer that type of program. Like Razor's just the one that is the best and could be the worst at the same time for people.
Yeah.
That people want to jump on it because it's so inviting, because it's like, look, I can bring it together. I can look like I'm better than I am, and then that will bring in growth and such things like that, which I find quite interesting towards community and how. I'll bring this into a different comment. Did you see? Oh, okay, Penguin. Okay. So did you see? Have you watched Evan Nash at all?
No, I don't think so. I'm really rubbish with names, so I might remember, but I don't think so.
He's super interesting. Like, he does loads of videos on YouTube, but he is actually. He used to be CEO of CL. No, it's not CL. He used to be a team manager at CLG, the esports team. He was in charge of the league team.
Right, got you. Yeah.
And then since then, he's moved on to. He's now the CEO of Nerd Fusion, which is conglomerate of different like high tier creators. They do a lot of marketing towards growth on Twitch and stuff like that. So like they looked into Valorant when it got big, and because of from Twitch drop starting in EFT Escape from Tarkov, botting for drops became massive. So during the first 3 weeks of Valorant, about a third of the viewers were bots.
That's terrifying to even think.
But Twitch then uses those numbers as advertisement to sponsors, knowing there's bots in streams.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's really interesting information to find out. The only thing I'd heard about Valorant streams is some people were getting really annoyed at there was like those streams that were like drops enabled 24/7, and it was just re-rolling of like the trailers and some gameplay footage that wasn't even from them, and yet they'd be sat higher than someone that was legit actually playing the game and talking to chat, and that seemed to be a bit like dodgy. I think. Yeah,
it was the main person, and it's sort of what you can use as an example for it. You could you can't anymore, but it was a CS:GO player called Anomaly. He's big in the CS scene, so like you could have believed that it was legitimate what was happening. However, once you just went in the chat and typed Valorant, there'd be like Valorant 1, Valorant 2, Valorant 3, Valorant.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was crazy. Sorry, my main point was discussing the advertisement of the acquisition of Ninja, and then consequently Shroud on Mixer.
Yes.
And it's super. So you got to think how much they paid. It's still all hush hush. But the advertisement that they did then made it look like Mixer was a massive platform that was could rival Twitch.
Yes.
And that's where sort of Razer, cycling back to the point, sorry. When you get like probably hundreds of people that are getting just a discount, which isn't affecting their profit margin massively, to just have your name, your brand name, as basically free advertising for them. Like, they've not worked for anything on that. And it's everywhere. It's just crazy to me.
I can remember when I heard of that deal that it was like Ninja's moved to Mixer, and I can remember thinking, like, I've heard of Mixer a few times, but I didn't think it was a big enough platform for someone as big as Ninja to like pack up and move. Even, I mean, they must have offered him some serious mega bucks behind closed doors. I've heard like quotes of like $10 million or something like that, but God knows how much it really is. But I'm shocked. It must have been a serious deal, because I think even now the only most people only go over to Mixer to watch Ninja and Shroud nowadays. Like, I still don't think it's a massively popular platform when you compare it to Twitch's numbers and stuff. It just seems a bit weird. Like, I can remember that, and I was thinking, has Mixer really got that big? Is this something I should be looking into? Should I change over? And then I looked at the site, and I was like, maybe not. I just kind of stayed here, but yeah, no.
So
it blew my...
Stream Elements did a blog post, I think, at the beginning of the year that showed basically the split of market share
Right.
that everyone has. So what they did was really smart, Mixer, because they had 3% of the market share when they acquisition Ninja. Now,
Yeah.
3%'s nothing, really, in the grand scheme. But then everyone believed they had like a 40% market share immediately just because what they did. Probably, I'd imagine, leading forward, when the new Xbox comes out, they're going to have a massive overhaul, and that's going to be what takes Mixer to the next step. We don't know, obviously, that's just... But what Mixer did, which you have to love them for, even if because a lot of people cry about what happened with Mixer and all, you know, how bad it is.
Yeah.
What they did do was change the playing field of live streaming for everyone, because since then you've had acquisitions to YouTube, you've had people moving from YouTube to Twitch. Tim the Tatman, Dr. Lupo, and Dr. Disrespect have done nothing, and they are now locked in contracts on Twitch.
Yeah.
And Facebook is actually the third person in the race for market share, because they've got something like 20% of the market.
Yeah, I can remember. I don't know if you know DisguiseToast.
Yeah.
He's another one of Flight TV. Of course, he got paid to go over to Facebook Gaming, and I think his contract's run out now, because I've heard about him saying coming back to Twitch.
No, they just have different contracts than what other people do.
Yeah. God knows what's going on there. But like, I've seen Facebook Gaming, and I think it's interesting, and I think it has potential, like really good potential behind it. But I still think like it's going to take a lot to take Twitch down off of that top space, I think still. I think everything's got potential, but it's going to take a while.
The thing that... So Twitch isn't really growing in market share. It's sort of retaining the same thing or dropping a little bit each year to like YouTube. Because YouTube has like... Obviously, most people on Twitch know the main growth avenue you can take is through non-endemic users, which is actually leading to my next question. Non-endemic growth for your channel, because rather than taking them from Twitch, which at the moment there's not the avenues for that really. You do a little bit, but it's not really what you want. And they are, I think, putting in methods. Like, I know my recommended feed on Twitch is actually giving me a lot more smaller grassroots streamers that are just trying to do well. But YouTube has the algorithm. You know, they've had it for years and years and years, and it works and helps people. But so what is your opinion on organic versus like non-endemic growth? And that can include Twitter and any platform.
I think that's the thing with Twitch is, like you said, there is not really an algorithm behind Twitch that you can learn to just solely base it off of Twitch, you know, and work very hard on Twitch anymore. Like, of course, you can do stuff like improve your stream quality and such, but like everyone nowadays, like, I think it's impossible to truly get far on Twitch without really having to work those other avenues of stuff like Twitter, maybe a bit of Instagram. YouTube is obviously super important nowadays and stuff. And I think that, like, I can remember Harris Heller saying something about like his most popular days he gets followers is the days he doesn't stream because he releases YouTube videos on them, and that's when the most people come over to his channel to actually follow him on Twitch. And that's crazy when you compare it to stuff like YouTube that obviously has got this such a set algorithm that you can learn and use to your benefit to grow. I wish Twitch did have a small thing like that. Because it does put a lot of pressure, I think, on people that maybe don't know social media so well, or didn't want to make YouTube videos and stuff to make them feel like, oh God, if I want to do this, I have to do this and I have to do this and everything. And it does kind of suck in that way. Obviously, it's still possible to grow on Twitch, I think, without doing that, but it really sets you back a long way if you refuse to spread out to other platforms. So I really hope maybe soon Twitch starts to come up with an algorithm to help smaller streamers get found, but honestly, I don't know if they will, because it's the big boys at the end of the day that make them the money. It's not the small ones, so I don't know how much they're going to put into actually helping smaller streamers.
Yeah, I've never thought about it this way. You are fully correct. Is they're more inclined to help someone that brings in, well, I mean, even, well, I guess I'll ask a question actually to answer this, anyways. What sort of count? This we'll leave it on like a. Oh, sorry, I'll have to ask the question properly here. So, what subscriber count do you think it is okay to sort of become full time? Obviously, we're gonna go with sort of, because that I was asked a lot of questions here. So, we'll go with like a someone out of university, sort of early 20s, when you can get by living off less. We're not looking at. I'm not saying like a grand a month sort of average, because that does take a little bit. That I can sort of work that out myself. But,
I think obviously the thing to take into account is affiliates do get less of a percentage compared to partners. So as a smaller streamer, affiliates, we only get 50% of any of your subscription stuff. The other 50% goes straight to Twitch, compared to partners, which I think they get 70%. So they do get a higher percentage of when you subscribe to them. I think I'd have to go more with money over subscriber count. I would say if on Twitch, or maybe subscribers, I probably wouldn't leave another job to do Twitch until I was probably close to like that 80 subscriber mark, at least. Maybe 100, to be honest, because the thing is, Twitch is so finicky for numbers. So many people subscribe with like Twitch Prime compared to like a paid sub, which paid subs roll over every month. So unless you personally cancel your subscription to another account, it's just going to keep rolling over, which of course people forget or people want to. Whereas Twitch Prime, which is what most people do because it's free, they have to reactivate that sub and remember to reactivate that sub. And it's such a finicky thing, especially say someone's on holiday or they're busy with school or busy with work and they don't remember for a week or two. That's money out of like your pocket, basically. And what if 1 month, I've literally even this month seen, just because it hit the beginning of the month, literally half of my subscribers disappear, and then they've come back over the course of 2 weeks. So because they've been able to get to stream and re-Twitch sub and such, and it changes so rapidly. I think it's a really scary big leap to take to go completely full-time with Twitch, unless you have like a fallback plan just in case it all goes wrong. I think you need that, like a bit of savings or something, just in case, because it's got such a potential to, from 1 minute to the other, completely bounce. I mean, I was saying earlier on my stream when I was having a talk to my chat about how if you compare before and after lockdown, again, I'm simping for her, but Pokimane, stats, she quadrupled her subscriber count in March compared to February, because of course March the lockdown started happening. So of course more people are at home, so therefore they can subscribe. So she's got like quadruple the subs at the minute. But what's going to happen to her after lockdown? She's obviously got this huge increase in income at the minute from Twitch, and then after lockdown, is she going to lose all that? Is she going to maybe half it again or something? It's something that, like, even that can affect a big streamer, which obviously she's probably enjoying the hell out of that money at the minute, but it is going to eventually go. I think as soon as lockdown's like officially over and everyone's back to day-to-day life, and that's the thing, is you need to remember, like, Twitch is not a stable income completely. There's always a risk to it, and it's if got the ability to take that risk, do it.
I mean, so the thing that I always think about when talking about this type of thing, so you when you think about going full time, you have to at that point, as a streamer, make sure that you are widening your content to as many avenues as humanly possible. So you can't just be like Twitch streaming. Whilst that's ideal and that's generally what you do it for, you have like an edit. If you can afford an editor, you have an editor making your VODs into highlight reels for your YouTube content. Making sure that it just keeps on rolling. It's something I've been trying to do, but I hate editing my own stuff. I mean,
same.
Again, that's a thing you get as you grow, I guess, as you have subs and you have people investing in your brand, you can reinvest it, and that's where more of, I guess, a business side of your brain comes into it. But that's down to the individual user. Some people don't have to do that, and they're fine. Some people have to do that to just help themselves out, because depending who you are, you might not make much money out of YouTube if you drop a few swear words into your streams and stuff and they come through. We'll blame PewDiePie for that, but that's fine. Okay. So what we'll start finishing up on this, but what are 3 tips that you would give yourself that you have given others?
Stop watching numbers is a really important one. I preach it to people all the time, but my God, hide that viewer count, because it really can get to you and flip your day, just because you're like, why have I suddenly like halved followers, or some not followers, viewers, sorry, wrong word. Or just stop looking at the stats when you begin with, and just more become confident in yourself and your ability to sit in front of a camera and a microphone and talk, and practice on that first before you really push for numbers. Obviously be grateful for the people that come and view your stuff, but stop looking at the numbers. It is damaging. What else would I tell myself? Definitely network more, in a sense of go and find other streamers you enjoy and really get to know them and know their communities and become a part of it yourself, because you're gonna learn off of these other people, like little tips that you can throw into your stream, and you can have fun. And that's my 3rd tip, is just literally have fun with Twitch. Don't make it this huge pressure thing. Even if it's something you want to do as a job, it's something you would really love to like hit partnership and have that income from it. Having fun is the best thing for you, because that allows your personality to really come out, and therefore allows your viewers to have fun. And I think that's what's most important there.
That's great. And the thing is, I think something that you can shine off that is that's the advice everyone will take, and obviously it's not a one case fits all for anyone. I know stuff that I need to grow up on, and everyone has that. And if more people can look at themselves like that, it just then it's perfect, So what do you think is going to come from your future? I'm going to say next 6 months. Obviously we don't know what the world is going to look like in 6 months at this rate, but
oh God, no, we don't at the minute. I don't know, I'm just working really hard on both my own Twitch and also my brand in general, and hopefully in 6 months time I'd like to have a little bit of income from being a stream coach. Not too much, because I definitely don't expect big things, especially instantly, but just actually maybe being a little bit of a name in the community of small streamers and being like, oh, have you heard of this person, Summer? She gives good advice, and stuff. And that's what I'd like in 6 months. That would be quite nice.
It's amazing. Okay, so I think we can call it there. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for the conversation. It's been great.
It's been good fun. It's been good fun. Yeah, it's super interesting.
Okay, amazing. So thank you so much. Hey chat. So yeah. Oh, I've messed something up. Sorry, I was recording that one.